All right, well, I got 2 o'clock. I don't see anybody else standing at the door, so I guess we'll go ahead and get started. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out today this pretty but cold Sunday afternoon. I'm Kevin Gibson. I'm the current president of NETLA, which is Northeast Texas Livestock Association. We put on the show, do all the administration of it and whatnot. We like to have this meeting just to kind of give the opportunity, kind of an open forum for any of the new parents or even parents that have shown several times, whatnot. Kids, if they have any questions, we're completely open. If you have a question, we may not know the answer, but we'll find the answer and get back to you. So if y'all have any questions about anything we're talking about, feel free to raise your hand or call out or whatever. We'll see if we can't get you an answer to that question. At least address it and go forward with it. Basically, the rule changes, all the rules. You should have received a copy. If you haven't received a copy, there's a few here. They're also on our website, which is netla.pk. And you scroll down there, there's some downloads. You can get your very own copy of the rules. If you see anything that you have questions about, need to be clarified on, anything like that. All the weights are in here, the minimum, maximum, all that kind of stuff is any details about any specific species. All that's in here. Like I said, it's not the answer to every question, but it's a pretty good outline of those things that you'll come across, at least the things we've come across in the past. Just moving forward from that, one of the things that's really important to the show and the sale are the raffle tickets for your new exhibitors. Each family is required to sell at least a book, at least the 25 raffle tickets. Just so y'all know that every penny of the raffle ticket goes back into the sale. For the last couple of years, we've had $9,000 to $10,000 that NETLA as a group has been able to sell, to buy animals in the auction. So what that does is not just out there trying to buy the animals, but it helps kind of regulate the low end on the prices. You get some of the animals that say a pen of chickens, maybe they're bringing $800 and there's one in there at $500. Well, the NETLA buyer kind of keeps pushing all that back up to try to keep everything with a good bottom end, so everybody's successful. But just can't stress how important the raffle tickets are. I mean, they're $2 a piece, and you get 2 chances at a side of beef. So the beef is donated, the processing is donated, and it'll be one of the animals in the sale that goes on the truck that NETLA will commandeer for the beef. And then the food locker down here, they donate the processing. So it's just again, it's can't get over how important the raffle tickets are, because every bit of that goes back into the sale. And the money that's left over from that, if it doesn't end up being just an exact number, where we spend every penny in the sale, then we'll take that extra money and we'll use it to bring up some of the low ends on the add-ons. If there's somebody that's way down the bottom end of the pigs, maybe the average on the pigs was $2,500, and you got one of them in there that's at $1,500. The way we look at it is we can split that money up and give everybody $10, but $10 doesn't make as much difference to somebody that has got 3 times as much add-ons as somebody else as being able to put $200 on somebody that has $10 with add-ons already. It really makes a big difference. So again, if you have people that want to, as you're out visiting with your buyers, you got visiting with your friends, your family, people at church, wherever you come across people, just let them know what we've got going. If they want to try to help, it's a good way to get $2, $3 out of them, $50 out of people. We've got a whole box of tickets in there. If we need more, we'll print more. It's just a really good way to get money directly into the show, into the sale. And it's a good avenue for people that might not be able to go out and buy the whole animal. They can't go out there and spend $1,500 on an animal, but they can spend $50, $100. A lot of times we'll have people that just want to donate to the cause. I'll just give them raffle tickets. They come to me all the time. Hey, I want to put $100 in on the pot. Well, we don't really have the pot anymore, so we just put it in with the raffle tickets, and then they get $100 worth of chances at the raffle. So they get a little something, a little chance to have something, reason to be there. And the winner doesn't have to be present to win. We will call them, just get names and phone numbers is the main deal. We will call you to get in touch with you on the winner. Again, there's a whole box of tickets up there. We'll get some more if we need more. But that's a big deal. And the high volume ticket seller receives a buckle. It's just like the Grand Reserve Champion buckles, but it's for the high volume seller. So there is something there you can work towards on that. If you do happen to be going for the high volume seller, we would like for the bulk of the tickets to be turned in the week of the show, preferably by the luncheon, the buyer's lunch that we'll be having on Thursday. That's when we need the bulk of the tickets all turned in. If you happen to be going for the high volume, those tickets are due before 5 o'clock on Friday to the announcer stand. If you're that critical about exactly when 5 o'clock is by your watch or their watch, it's whoever's in the announcer stand. If you're worried about it, you'll check with them ahead of time and see how far yours is off today. If it's going to come down to the second, because they've got the last call on it. If it's after that, then it doesn't go towards it can't go towards, we've got to have a cutoff date, or cutoff time. So, again, if you're trying for the high volume, you're trying to get every little second out of it, get as many as you can, turn in early. We keep all the counts confidential. We're not telling everybody, so-and-so sold 100, and this person sold 500. We keep all that to ourselves to keep it as fair as possible. So don't think we're trying to we're giving away a goal for somebody else to try to beat y'all. Again, high volume sales, 5 o'clock on Friday to the announcer stand. Again, the raffle money goes directly to Bids for Kids, which is our NETLA buying group, and every bit of it goes back into the sale. Are there any questions about the raffle tickets, or where the money goes, what it's used for? Any concerns about it? Okay. Again, that's 25 tickets per family. If you've got multiple kids showing, still just required for the 25. Everybody's required at a minimum of 25. Completely welcome to sell 200, but a minimum of 25 per family. As far as animals that we'll have in the sale, 15 animals of each species will sell up to 55. Up to 35, I'm sorry. 15, minimum 15 will sell per species, up to 35. And the only way we get to 35 is if there's 55 animals that make the show. So there's a formula in there. We take half, basically it's half of the animals over 15, over the 30 to sell. So if you have any questions about that, I can get into that a little bit deeper. As far as lambs and goats, this year we've had 43 lambs validated. And last year we only had 20 lambs validated. Goats, we've had 46 validated. Last year there were 66, so we're down on goats, up on lambs. There's about 100 pigs that have been validated, and we're about the same as last year. And then 35 steers, and we're up a little bit. We were 31 last year. And poultry, we're down just a little bit to 69 as opposed to 77 that we had last year. And poultry, Mr. Lennon, you have anything on poultry?
They'll be here Thursday.
Be here Thursday at the Silver Springs Ag Building. Anybody not familiar with that? We can get you pointed in the right direction. But if you're getting chickens for the first time, make sure you've got a good warm place for them to go to, because they'll need a nice warm home by Thursday morning. So don't forget about those, because they don't have a place to keep them warm very long over there. The week of the show on Thursday this year, we will have a buyer's lunch. You may be contacted by your 4-H leader or your ag teacher to help participate in that. That also happens to be going on about the same time as the lamb and goat check-in. What the buyer's lunch is the invitation. We send out invitations to our buyers that have bought in the past several years, and the Farm Bureau donates the prime rib, and we have a nice luncheon for them. Some of y'all probably may have been there, but that's for the buyers, and then just the buyers only, and then some of the kids that you get asked to be will help serve, and and clean up, and we'll have some speakers as well. Now, on Saturday of the sale, we also have a buyer's luncheon. That's more for the family and the kids. The buyers are gonna be there. We ask that you don't approach the buyers to be buying your animal at that time. You can go introduce yourself, thank them for coming, do you need some more tea? Is there anything else we can get you? But that's not the time to be saying, hey, come buy my animal, introduce yourself in that manner. That's the time for just to visit with them and thank them for being there. You need to be out visiting with buyers now. As you're out doing business, when you go buy your feed, talk to the people at the feed store, say, hey, we've got this animal, here's when the show is, we'll have some brochures out shortly. Drop them off some brochures, tell them about your animal, tell them about your kids, tell them about your plans, get to know them. Don't necessarily have to ask them, hey, come buy my animal, hey, come to the show, see what we're doing. I'm proud of what I've done, I'd like to show it off, that kind of stuff. There's different ways of approaching it. But having buyers there is the reason this thing works. The kids, we were in the $300,000 range last year, which is amazing. One night, this community came together and put together $300,000 to go to the kids of our community. And that's a pretty awesome deal. I'm proud to be a part of it. I hope y'all are proud to be a part of it. Let the buyers know you're proud of them supporting it, and you're appreciative of it. We can't do it without the buyers. They're the ones that keep the wheels greased. So just definitely get out there, make some contacts. Like I said, as you're doing your regular everyday business, where you buy your stuff, talk with them, where you get your car washed, where you buy your cars, you buy your tractors, you buy your feed, you're doing your everyday business, you buy your lumber, talk to the people you're doing business with and let them know, what your kids are doing. Get the kids in there, let the kids talk to people. You can, it's a good opportunity for kids to learn to interact with adults, because they're going to be there hopefully one day. Some of us take a little longer than others. But you can't start learning to do business. It's never too young to learn to do business, and that's just a good way to get people. Teach them respect and yes or no, sir, shake hands. We really have a pretty good reputation of having good kids come through this program, and it's because of the parents that teach them the right things to do, and getting them out there in front of the community. It really which is why we have so much support, is because the community is proud of our kids as well. So get them out there, introduce them, invite them to the sale, invite them to the lunch, the Saturday lunch. And I said we'll have some brochures for you to hand out. Later on, it's got all the schedule on it, and just, like I said, we can't do it without them. As far as just kind of go through the show days. Thursday at lunch, we'll do that invitation only buyers luncheon. And then Thursday afternoon is the lamb and goat weigh-in. So you'll need you have your animals ready to go. If you have lambs and goats Thursday afternoon. The show starts at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I can't remember, I don't have a schedule handy with me. But the show will be early in the afternoon. Invite those buyers to come to the show and see what's going on as well. And that'll be Thursday. Friday starts out with poultry. Poultry check-in is early in the morning. And steers are right behind that. I'm sorry, swine is right behind that. And then steers will weigh in by lunch. So typically we just start the pig show about in the lunchtime frame, and then the steers will follow that. So plan on being there. If you got steers or poultry or pigs, then plan on being there pretty much most of the day Friday, because it takes all day to get them all ready. And the poultry show should be done by around lunchtime, so you should be able to go back to doing what you were doing after that. But we do ask that everybody comes back after the steer show to help set up for the sale. Because we got to rake the whole arena, we've got to put out pins and panels and set things up and get the straw strode out, and we've got chairs to dig out from under the bleachers. We've got to clean up the bleachers and try to get things presentable. Banners to put up. There's a lot goes into getting the ring ready from the last steer that walks out to getting ready for the show or the sale. There's a lot that goes into that. So we ask that everybody be, you don't have to stick around all day, but we do ask that you come back to help set up that. Because we need a lot of labor, and we'll have a handful of people, identifying things that need to be done. The night of the sale, or the evening, afternoon of the sale, we ask that you don't park on the north side of the Civic Center. That area is reserved for buyers. In the past, we've had the buyers were parking all day out here by the Dairy Museum, and then come find out all the parking up close was the people that got there early to get their animals ready. We want to reserve that for the buyers and get them close and keep them, we got to cater to the buyers. At this point, after the show, it's all about the buyers. That makes the sale. So we ask that you don't park on the north side here, right by the Civic Center. If you make the sale, then NETLA will purchase a picture for you. They'll purchase one picture. We ask that goes to the buyer. We have an example here, apparently. So NETLA will be purchasing a picture, and it won't come framed. It'll just be a picture in the sleeve. So we would like for you, if you would like a picture to keep, then we ask that you buy your own picture to keep. We're buying the pictures for the buyers. So that once the sale's all over with, we get these in a week or two later. That gives you an opportunity to go by and visit with the buyer, tell them thank you, present them a picture. If you have, there's a lot of people that'll take them a plate of cookies, a cake, a pie, a thank you note, and, just whatever. But we've got to be sure not to forget to thank our buyers. We've got to get ahead of them and get them there and get them interested in us and thank them for participating in the past, as well as follow up after the fact and thanks for the participation, after the fact, and get their picture to them. If you go into, I know a lot of the tractor dealers, the car dealers, all those stuff, they've got a whole wall of pictures, and they're proud of them. So make sure that they get their pictures so they can get them displayed. So again, if you make the sale, make sure that you have your picture made. That's just, we can't, once the animals are all distributed out, we can't go back and, we don't have retakes. So that once they're gone, they're gone. So again, if you make the sale, make sure you have your picture made. NETLA will provide a truck for any of the animals that are not taken by the buyers. If y'all are not familiar with the way the sale works, when you go through the ring, it's a live auction. The buyer that buys it may or may not want to keep the animal. A lot of times they'll keep the pigs and steers because those go in freezers good. A lot of people don't want to necessarily take home a lamb or a goat, but they're still buying it to support the kids. So they will resell it at a floor price, and NETLA has a truck there to buy all the floor animals from NETLA at that point. So if you don't want to you have the option of taking your animal home. If you go through the ring and the buyer buys it and the buyer wants to take your animal, then the exhibitor is responsible for taking the animal home and feeding it until it can get to the locker, and responsible for taking it to the locker plant. We already have locker slots, appointments made for the animals. They're the week after the sale. So sometime within that next week, the animals will have to go up here to the locker. So just keep in mind, once you run out of the sale, it's not just done. We still got to take care of the animal until it gets to the final destination. If the buyer in the ring decides to not keep the animal, then the exhibitor has the option of taking the animal home and keeping it, or putting it on the truck, which will have a floor price, and the truck buyer will pay the kid for the animal and take it the night of the sale. Actually, in the past, we've had the truck there the night on Thursday and Friday both, and Saturday for the sale animals. But we can explain all that later if you're any confusion about that. We can straighten that out. But the main thing is, do not just leave your animal tied up thinking, well, I'm done with it, it made the sale, it's over with, and walk out. If it doesn't make it to the locker, if it doesn't make it to the truck, you're probably not gonna get your check. So just keep that in mind. If it doesn't have if you don't get it put where it needs to go, the odds of you getting your check are pretty slim. And that's the only thing that we have to hold over anybody is that check, to make sure they follow through with their responsibilities of it. Again, it's, just don't leave it in the pen. Make sure if it goes on the truck, make sure that it's in the proper place. We usually have a staging area. There'll be either a pen noted for that. Your ag teachers, your FFA leader, or 4-H leaders will know who to contact about where that is. Like I said, in the past, we've had pigs just left in pens, and then we have to get the numbers off of them, track down who they are, get hold of the ag teacher, get hold of the parent, get hold of the kid, and it's just we're up there till midnight trying to track down why is this pig still here. So just be mindful of that. We're all by that time we're all tired too, so we're ready to go home, take a shower, and get the dust off of us, and so anything we can do to not have those outliers out there is much appreciated. Again, if it does get left out there, it's hard to get your check. So because it doesn't go home to anybody, we don't know where the check needs to go. So again, just keep that in mind. Trying to think, is there? That's all the main talking points that I have. After the sale, the Civic Center cleans everything up. All we need to do is make sure that we have all of our animals out, our material out. If you have bags of feed, feed buckets, make sure you get all that stuff out. Because typically by Sunday morning they're cleaning up, getting ready for the next event. So don't think you can come back up Wednesday and it'll be sitting there and pick up your feed buckets then, because it'll be gone by then. So on the cleanup, make sure you get all your stuff out. We don't have to pick up the arena. We don't have to pick up the chairs. We don't have to pick up the show ring. We just need to make sure that all our stuff is out. And if it's still there, it becomes somebody else's stuff at that point. So just clean up your mess, basically. All right. Does anybody have any questions? I know I was thorough, but I can't be that thorough. Got to be something. And I need a copy of the rules.
Tell us the website again.
NETLA.tk.
TK.
TK. You can search, you can Google NETLA, and it'll be in the top 3 or 4. It's actually a Google Sites, but we never get the NETLA for free, so you can get there from there. So it may come up with a funny name, but it'll actually go to the name. And like I said, the rules are there, entry forms there, and the rules have, like I said, all the weights in it, everything about the eligibility, the raffle tickets, validation process, all that kind of stuff. Anything? We're completely open for questions. My number's on the website. You can call up here and talk to Mario. You can get with your ag teacher, your 4-H leader. They've all got our contact information. If it's a species-specific issue, we'll get with the superintendents and we'll make a determination. If you have a question, if you have a concern, if you just need something clarified, just don't hesitate. We're here for the kids, so it doesn't hurt our feelings to have to answer questions. So feel free to ask them.
Unloading and loading, that'll be real obvious when we get here.
Yes, everything typically, we'll have we've done the last couple of years, we had a chute coming from I guess that'd be the east door. Like for the pigs, we'll have a chute to come in and run down the side. Comes in from the west side, you can bring your halter animals in from the west side. You can bring that stuff in from the back side. We ask that you try not to tie the door up for very long. If you've got a bunch of stuff to get out, try to get the animals out, get all the stuff offloaded, and then get the truck out of the way, and then come take your show box, your bags of feed, your buckets, all that kind of stuff. Take those to the pens. And that brings up a good point. We ask that you please don't make a lot of noise and trying to load up during the sale. We've had issues in the past where we're halfway through the sale, and you've got a truck that's backed into the back door. Back down there, and it's got a loud engine, loud pipes, pigs are squealing, sound like you're killing them back there, and it just it looks bad. And, we appreciate you avoiding that. If not, if we can't seem to avoid it, then we'll shut the door and turn the power off at the door, and then nobody gets out. So, just be mindful of that. Leaving the animals out is not usually an issue. But pigs is usually where we end up with the big deal. A lot of loud pigs, lots of squealing, lots of people yelling, shut the gates, open the gates, that kind of stuff. And it's very distracting for the sale. So, just keep that in mind.
You mentioned straw, we don't need to bring straw.
No, we will have straw here. We've had straw donated the past several years, and it works out well. We'll have big bales. They'll be under the pavilion outside the west door. There's typically a wheelbarrow too out there, so you shouldn't need to bring a wheelbarrow, and there'll be a pitchfork or so. So we will have straw. There are no shavings inside the only shavings allowed inside the Civic Center will be in the chicken pens, and we provide that as well. So don't bring shavings, don't bring straw. You can bring some hay, feed, whatever. You just can't have shavings in the Civic Center. Anything else? Nothing else?
Trying to think of everything.
I'm glad to do it. I appreciate it. All right, I'll be around for a little while. If anybody thinks of things, something they want to ask out loud, then we'll address it. But thank you everybody for coming.